Okay, let's see who's coming in the door.
Mm.
Hi, Cynthia. JC. Hi, Michelle Hull. You're always in the house. Hi, Amanda. My my biggest fan, Amanda. Kira, Linda, everyone's in here. Richard Mayer, what are you doing in here?
Wow, it's been a while, Richard.
Oh, hi, Megan, Michelle, Brittany. Guess what? Still in the mix. Ooh, such a bad joke. Dawn, Leisha. Oh, hi, you guys. This is fun. Oh, he loves us both, Angela.
Yeah, I had to send him some hearts. I'll send a few more hearts, Richard.
I know. Richard, I'll see you soon. Hi, Kim. Brooke's here. Crystal George. She always haunts me, that girl. You know Crystal. Angela, she was in our class
Yes,
together.
Dr.
Yeah.
Crystal. I know Dr. Crystal very well.
Dr. Crystal.
Yes, Dr. George.
Yeah. Megan, other Michelle. Ramla, hi, babe. This is
Rama?
so always so fun for me.
Oh my goodness.
There's so many. Hi, Sandy. Shirley's in here. Hi, Cheryl. Stephanie, Tina. Tina's my second biggest fan, Amanda. You're gonna have to fight with her. Oh
Uh-oh.
my, this is great. Hi, Valerie, Vanessa.
Um,
Yes, hi, Vaughn. Keep them coming. This is so fun. Oh, I'm not looking at the chat. I better look at that. Oh yeah, Ramla. Angela's awesome, right?
yes. Oh.
Yes. I just told her I immediately thought of all these webinars and I had to include her in this presentation. So I love her too.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness. Look at all the people. Gail, hi. First timer, Gail. You're gonna love it. Yes. Well, this is so cool.
Wonderful. A whole class. Thank you, Tricia, for bringing your class. That's awesome. Wow.
Amanda, Tina's gonna take you down for my love. Amanda, let's not be so aggressive. What are you doing? Oh, hi, Trisha has her whole class. Hi. Welcome, class. I wish we could see you guys. We're just gonna give everyone a few more minutes to log on here. Hi, Lorna. Did I say hi to you? There's so many people. Olivia. I love these webinars. They're all of our awesome clients, Angela. They're all of
Yes.
our estheticians. So some
Mhm.
of them join every webinar. Some of them are in and out. Some of them are probably tired of hearing me speak. Um, Tina, I know you're great. Tina always roots for me. And Amanda, yeah, you were, girl. That's so fine. I feel your love. When my 12-year-old niece
Adaptation.
doesn't want love from me, I force it upon her and I scream out, force love. And that's what that's what I thought with you, Amanda.
Okay.
Wow, it's just a lot of people. Here we go. Okay. Examples on here. You won our last webinar prize. Don't you worry. You know what's coming today, guys. More prizes.
More prizes.
Oh, Shelby's there.
Yeah.
Hi, hi, Jackie. This is so fun. Crystal, are you in your treatment room today? I'm surprised you're on here. It's like midday. Hi, Jessica. All right. Is it time? Shauna. Sharon, I did not. Michelle, yes. You got to email me if you want that, but it's on YouTube, Michelle. Go to YouTube. Or email me, whatever you like. Hi, Crystal. Okay. Let's get this started. Victoria Wig, she's on here. Hi. The class isn't. Oh, are you talking about the class or the webinar? I thought she talked about the webinar, Morgan. Michelle, you just email me what you need, buddy, and I'll get it to you. Okay, so Angela and I are both coming to you guys from California today. It's nice and warm here. Feels nothing like Washington. She's in Southern California. I'm in Central California. We both had weird circumstances. So Angela is in Panera. If anybody would want to put their order in, here you go. And I am at my sister's house, but I have Purdy Central and kids going on behind me. So heads up, if you hear anything weird, just ignore it. I can't help it today. But anyway, yes. Looks like lovely weather where Angela is. So
Mhm.
we got the good weather today. Today, this is about exfoliants and exfoliation. As you know, at Hale and Hush, we only have three exfoliators. And so let's just give you a background. For me, I've watched Angela Green for a long time, and I love what she does. She does amazing things as far as business. She also did some education for Pamela Springer and Global Skincare Solutions. That's how Angela and I met in Pamela's, not met, we met years ago, but in Pamela's 3-day class, um, we disagreed with each other. And so that's what, everyone in this field, there's so many things that you can adapt and change for who you see and what you do. I think Angela's done an amazing job for that. So we talked about exfoliants, and I had to say, which I respect her so much, so I had to say, Angela, I disagree with you here. And so it's just interesting. I want to give you guys different perspectives and different treatments and how you treat your clients. So immediately I was like, well, we're just going to have Angela on a webinar then, because it's an awesome thing. So she goes above and beyond and does treatments I don't do, and vice versa. So this is going to give you a well-rounded view and a little chat about exfoliants and how to use different types in your room. We're talking about two companies today, obviously Hale and Hush, and Angela uses a lot of Global Skincare Solution. But you can adapt this to any company, any line you use. This is just informational only. Of course, the prizes we're going to give today are from our two companies and our perspectives. However, I hope you adapt that in your train of thought and what you're doing in your own treatment room. Okay, there's lots of people in here today. We're super excited. I love Angela. She also is a great business person and entrepreneur. So I knew Angela a while ago. She helps other estheticians find your cost, your true cost per treatment. And we're not talking about the products and only the products. We're talking about the whole entire inclusivity of the spa and the cost there. And it's phenomenal. If you guys want that, she's gonna give her personal information at the end, but definitely business oriented also. And you guys, she's up and coming. Do you know what she's been putting out on her Instagram? Menopausal skin. She is the menopausal skin lady, right? I have talked about this forever. That needs to be a topic. I even had to talk to her and say, Angela, I plan to do a class on that by the end of the year, but I just want you to know I didn't steal it from you. So we do have a class coming for that. But she does it every single day. So she's the master. And any questions on that too, you guys can ask her. Angela, I'm sure you can introduce yourself in a whole new way. I could talk about you for a long time, but it's not the same. So if you want to give your professional introduction, that'd be awesome.
Well, Shauna, you have definitely covered all the bases and done an amazing job. So thank you so much for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I've got esthetician friends I've had for quite some time. It's new friends, I'm sure. My name is Angela Green. I am a licensed esthetician. I also have a master's in business administration. And yes, menopause skin is definitely something we need to talk about it. There cannot be too many conversations regarding the menopause journey, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, and how that affects the skin, being our largest organs. I find this to be, it's definitely up and coming in terms of the conversation, but it's just been this big question mark, this big mystery. We call it acne, but is it really acne? And lots of questions, lots of questions. And I'm still in the process of learning a lot too, but I've certainly kind of cracked the code on a few things that I feel are very pertinent. And it goes back to some of the basics and things that we know, but how do we apply what we know to these skin conditions? But yes, also owner of Angela Green Skincare. I'm located here in Carson, California, so just south of LAX, north of Orange County, kind of in that little pocket off the 405 freeway. And that is where my studio is located, at Regional Shopping Mall. and living a sweet life. So I'm in a nice suite, and it's my happy place where my clients are coming to receive services. And of course, online virtually at Skin Biz School with a Z, skinbizschool.com. And that is where the cost per service worksheet lives and breathes every day, along with some other business tools. So yes, wonderful introduction. And yes, I've certainly worked alongside Ms. Pamela Springer of Global Skin Solutions, and use a good portion of the product on my back bar, and can kind of walk through the whole hierarchy of treatments. And that's really what we're going to talk about today. So it's really more so about ingredients, not always just the brand, but of course you want to evaluate each brand based on the ingredients they're bringing. So ingredients and branding work hand in hand. And I think Hale Hush has done an amazing job of really staying true to the brand. And that's again why Shauna and I have this really amazing relationship here, because brand wise, clearly, it's the sensitive skin experts, whether it's sensitive, sensitized, and all those points in between. There's so many reasons that people develop sensitive skin and or have skin that is sensitized, and they're really experts at that. And I do believe in finding a niche in what you do. And of course, Pamela Springer has been known for quite some time now as a expert in skin of color, and I've learned a great deal from her as well. And look forward to continue to serve clients and serve my greater esthetician community with all of these facts. Let's get down to the facts.
Okay. Thank you, Angela. It's so great. She's awesome, you guys. So I'm gonna run through a short slide deck about our exfoliants. I know you guys know this already. There's one new person here. Listen very quick, but I'm gonna speed through it because I want to hear, just like most of you, what Angela has to say and not so much what I have to say. So let me get that up for you, and then we'll just move on as quick as we can. And you guys know, if you've been here before, if you have a real question, please put that question in the question and answer box. If you just want to chat, put it in the chat box. And Dawn, I want to know which virtual workshop you did, please. If you could put down who you took it from, that'd be awesome. But we're going to play it like that. I'm going to talk really fast, and then we'll get to Angela and all your questions, and stay to the end because you guys know prizes are coming up, right? So definitely stay tuned for that. Okay, let me share my screen. Oh, hold tight. And of course, it started at the end instead of the beginning. Okay, can you guys see that? Yes, thank you, Angela. So exfoliants and protocol adaptation, this is what I'm trying to drive in for our education this year, or a hierarchy of treatments. Angela is going to touch upon that too, and the protocol adaptation. I think that's super important. I want protocols to be guidelines and not necessarily black and white, right? Let's talk about the importance of collaborations. Number one, we've went over this before. It really does expand your knowledge in the treatment room, and that is what we're hoping for you today. Gives you more resources, more people to chat with. Look at Angela. Who doesn't want to talk to Angela Green? I always do. I just don't want to bug her all the time, right? The hierarchy of treatments within both of our scopes of what we do. Again, here's your adaptive protocols. Your clients, you can give them more choices. You can take care of more skin conditions, requests, all those things. You get really great results by combining brands. We already said that. And then, of course, if you find a niche, like Angela has just coined the biggest niche in one of them in our market, menopausal skin. Because if everyone raised their hand on here, I know there's a lot of you little young chicks on here, but if the other old ladies raise their hand, we're dealing with this not personally, but with our clients too. So we've got it all going on. So finding a niche in the industry like Angela has created is phenomenal. And I talk about this all the time. We all do aging. Everyone can do anti-aging. How boring is that? Because everyone does it. But Angela right now is the only one I know of actually calling herself the menopausal esthetician. So I think it's phenomenal. I think it's the way to go. Angela, you got to be fully booked. I mean, that's crazy town. If you're, yeah, I'm driving to SoCal right now. What are we talking about? So here's our hierarchy of treatments. And this is where I live on the top, and Angela lives more on the bottom of this scale, right? More advanced and more aggressive. It's what Angela does, and I don't. I see only sensitive and sensitized skin, like you guys know. So we always start with those gentle manual exfoliations, which are silicone scrubbers, polishes. We have refined polish. You guys, you know you love that. And the enzymes, this is when I said, Angela, we don't agree. I have to just tell you the honest story. Crystal knows, she was there. She said, I don't think we can, or something like this, Angela. I'm not trying to bad quote you. It was something like we can't get the same results or good results with just enzymes. I'm all, I don't know about that. So that's where I'm on the top half and Angela's on the more aggressive half of this scale, right? There's enough room for all of us to have our opinion, guys. It's fine. So anyway, incredible enzymes. If you use it, you know, yes, we can get results. I'm going to send Angela some tomorrow, probably see if she can practice. And then the mild AHAs, we do have our Bedazzle Revitalize that is mandelic and lactic, right? So all the other stuff is on the other side of the scale, and that's what I refer my clients out. I don't do that, so I give them a greatest esthetician I can to take care of them. And this is where you guys, it's okay to have to do that. It's okay to not do everything, right? Great if you can, but not bad if you don't. That's all I'm saying. So, and then Angela will talk about the rest of those, the chemical peels, BHAs, the bigger acids, and eventually, sometimes people have to have laser for certain issues or microneedling or something even more aggressive. So here's how we adapt the protocols. If you guys have been in the last few webinars, you guys know I've said this 100 times, so you're like a little boring, Shauna. But still, Angela's going to hit on this too in the hierarchy of treatments, but we need to analyze and reanalyze the skin when we're doing consultations, even not the first time we see the client, I mean, especially the first time, but even every time they come in, especially for sensitive skin, and especially if you're going to do more advanced aggressive treatments, because that barrier function has to be working. It has to be in a good condition to move on. So this is all about barrier when you're adapting your protocols and where you're starting in your treatments and your treatment plans moving forward, even for the home care, right? So again, analyze, you guys know this slide, you choose your exfoliant, which we're talking about today, and then you can choose your serums, moisturizers, modalities, anything else based on the health of the skin at each treatment. And for us in sensitive skin, these are the symptoms we treat continually, right? We always see compromised barrier. I mean, if you guys had money for every time I said it, you too would be rich, right? We could all be rich. We all had $1 for a compromised barrier. So these are the symptoms that we can treat. But also when you get to the hyperpigmentation, the uneven skin tones, and that type of thing, sometimes you do have to move on because our products, though effective, aren't always strong enough to tackle the more aggressive skin conditions. And here's Refine. If you guys have not tried Refine Polish, this is our exfoliant for the most sensitive skin and sensitized skin. It definitely, I love it. It brightens the skin. It helps barrier function. So if they're starting, you know, in that place where they need stuff to, products to assist in barrier function, we start here. Helps the barrier, helps the microbiome, gets the skin back to a natural, healthy state where we can move on. Okay. And of course, you guys use Refine. It's great. You can use it all over your body, helps with redness, irritation, takes away the dullness, the dryness. It was my favorite product of all time, and it just got bumped out by Remedy Rehab. So second place girl right here. She knows it though. She reigned for a long time. It's okay. Right. And then we have, of course, our incredible enzymes, which I love this one. I can use this on 80% of my clientele. It has 4 enzymes in it, papaya, pineapple, fig, and pomegranate. And it really does help with texturing and brightness of the skin. And this can be used on your sensitive clients. Of course, there are some that cannot, like oncology, and you want to wait to use these active ingredients. But this really rejuvenates, exfoliates, clarifies the skin and the texture. Like you guys know, I'm obsessed with incredible enzymes. I think I go through this more than Well, I guess Hush Hydrate Mask would win on that, but it's a tie what I use more, especially with my type of clientele. This is the one I'm going to mail you, Angela. It's great. And then, of course, we have our big girl, our Bedazzle Revitalize. Her pH is a 3.5. So it is a little spicier on the pH. The Incredible Enzymes is a 5.6, closer to the skin. And so this one I like to explain to my clients that it is a light peel. It does have 10% mandelic, 5% lactic. It is quite active on the skin. And you can feel it, you know, at little stingle tinglies. And so I love it on acne. However, if the skin is open and it's grades 3 and 4, you really don't want to put it on the skin because it'll just not be comfortable. Not that it will hurt them, but it's not comfortable for the client. But again, what does this do? It supports the skin barrier function. And this one really helps with complexion and texture because of the mandelic. So this is my, I love Bedazzle, but you have to explain it to your clients properly, because we've had lately a few clients say that their clients have frosted around the mouth area. The barrier just wasn't working in that area because we touch our mouth a lot, and with napkins, paper, it absorbs a lot of the moisture, the hydration in the skin. So it could be drier around that area. And if you have a handsome man with a beard, you know, things happen, but I'd still keep kissing him and just work on that barrier later. Okay. A lot of things happen in this area of our face, but I love Bedazzle. If you do not tell them that is a light peel, you might have issues. We had a client come back and say, I have all this white stuff. She didn't know the word frosting. Our clients don't always know our terms. All over my face, it's peeling off. Well, if the esthetician would have educated her properly and let her know that that might happen, it wouldn't have been an issue. Could have just got, you know, had some extra moisturizer on hand until the rest of that skin sloughed. So make sure you're explaining Bedazzle properly. And it is not a mask. It is used as an exfoliation product. That's another thing that happens sometimes. So I love this one too. You guys know all this. You're on our free webinar right now. So you guys, if you are not part of our monthly program, that is free for everyone. Email marketing@haleandhush.com. We'll get you signed up immediately. We just had a new blog article, right, Morgan? Hit the website today. Side note, our website is being revamped next weekend and it's going to be shut down for 3 days. So if you guys need to order, do it this week or wait and do it by phone, please. So we'll have a different structure pretty soon on our website, and blogs will be easier to find. Monthly webinars still, we have what, 6-7 more months. Very excited to keep going with those. Check the YouTube. Someone just asked today about another webinar and it's on there. Okay. Here's what we got. June, finding niche services. Intimate in July, which is always fun and an interesting chat. Rosacea, Terry Wojak will be here in August. September is your team. We have one person on our team that is a retail crazy lady and sells a ton of it. So she'll be here with us. October, we are collaborating with Anna Lotan because they also have sensitive products and rosacea. They work a lot with oncology clients too. November, we have a handsome man coming for that may work for Lightstem, who's on here right now. Richard's going to visit us. And then December, back with your Hale and Hush team to plan your 2025. So exciting. And you guys know about all those classes. Morad Curran's coming in the mix. And you know who I just got to do a class with us? Dr. Erin Madigan Fleck, about autoimmune issues with the skin. Yes. So that's in August too. If you want to sign up for any classes, go to our website. Okay, I've done my boring part. Oh, scholarship. Should we talk about this? Chris Campbell's giving away 4 $1,000 scholarships this year. Please go apply. You have to go to our Instagram account, follow the link. That's the only way you can get the link, Instagram. Please do it. There's many applications that aren't completed properly and they're going to be thrown out. So answer every question. If you don't have an answer, put NA, get them filled out and get us those scholarships. We don't have very many, guys. There's not a lot of competition right now. Weird. Go do it. Okay. That's my spiel for today. Here's my phone number and email if you need me. And look at our cute team. Yep. See the chick in the hat, Victoria Kripner? She's the one that rocks retail. So you'll want to be here for that one. Okay, Angela, my boring part is done. Do you like how I just like done? Get through that.
Not
You want to
boring
hear
at
the good
all.
stories.
All right, get into it. See, I'm going to share my screen.
Angela, can you pull your computer maybe closer to you? Your sound is just a little off.
Okay, yeah, I think the noise canceling is working a little overtime here. We have some news people in the dining area.
Yeah, so
All
sorry.
right. So I'm showing disabled participant screen sharing. So if there's some way to
Oh, did
activate
I
that
not
on this
turn?
end.
Oh, hold on. It might be
Yeah.
rude like that. I do it every single
No
time.
worries, no worries. Okay, looks like I'm in business now.
You guys, how many times have I done that in every webinar, right? I forget.
Hey, right here. Okay, so on behalf of Global Skin Solutions, Hale Hush and Global Skin Solutions collaboration, I'm going to present some details on the hierarchy of treatments. This is really kind of skewed towards Global Skin Solutions, but of course, really focusing on more of the ingredients and again, just the hierarchy of treatments and how you're going to go from, say, the introductory treatments to more advanced treatments and what is still within scope for estheticians.
Angela, we really can't hear you
Can you hear?
that well.
Okay, let's see. Maybe I can try this. Is that a little better?
You guys, can you hear her well enough?
Adjusting my volume here. Because that will make a difference. Let's see. That's a little bit better.
Is that better? Okay. Yeah, everyone says
Okay,
yes. Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you, Angela.
Oh, no, no, no. I want this to be high quality. It is being recorded. So, of course, again, about me, licensed esthetician, I am actually celebrating 20 years in July. So I'm really excited about that major milestone. Owner of Angela Green Skincare here in Carson, California. And I do use Global Skin Solutions for our back bar and retail products. I have a few other things that I like to supplement, but Global Skin Solutions is certainly my primary go-to for back bar and for treatment. So as Shauna went through the hierarchy of treatments, this is just another profile, another view of it. But of course, you start with your manual exfoliants, which would be your scrubs and things of that nature that partner well for clients who are dealing with a lot of surface congestion. You want to make sure that top layer is not compromised, but certainly brought into balance. Then you get into your enzymes, which again, Hale Hush does an amazing job of providing different enzymes, and a lot of companies do. But here's where I find it gets a little tricky because we then have blended enzymes that have AHAs, multiple AHAs, BHAs, and you're really getting into the territory of chemical peels because they're AHAs, they're BHAs. It is salicylic acid with an enzyme. So again, it's not just an enzyme when you say, oh, this is a blended enzyme. We tend to focus on the enzyme and not always the active ingredient that may include the AHA or BHA. So really know that you're making that next step. You're taking that next step literally. Then you get into what we call low depth chemical peels. And depth really speaks to the molecular size of that active ingredient. Our alpha hydroxy acids that have a larger molecular size might be, say, mandelic acid or lactic acid. A smaller molecular size might be a glycolic acid. And I'm just speaking of that specific ingredient. Then you get into other items like pH. I am loving the fact that we are finding finally higher pH peels in the 3 range. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Wish I had more higher pH peels back in the day. But no, they're very, very effective. And it's nice to see more of them being made. And then you get into the other ingredients within the chemical peel solution. What is it buffered with? Is it buffered with an apricot oil? Is it buffered with a glycerin? What is it buffered with? And then you can get into percentages. So really, I like to think of peels. I mean, the peels can be very complex. Just because something says glycolic on the bottle doesn't mean that's just all it is. So really examine your ingredients to understand your low depth versus mid depth chemical peels. Beta hydroxy acids, believe it or not, are actually low depth because they are designed to they're not designed to really penetrate the skin very deeply and get down to that through those dermal layers. And we'll talk a bit more about that. But some of the mid-depth chemical peels would include, say, your Jesner peels. And there's lots of different types of Jesner peels out in the market. They're not all true Jesners with the 14% each of lactic, salicylic, and resorcinol. Some of them, for instance, the one I use with Global Skin Solutions has lactic acid, salicylic acid, and a citric acid. So it's not as it doesn't take the same depth to say a resorcinol, which is a true acid, to the lower layers of the skin, but it's still very effective. But I could potentially get a similar same result by layering peels. So again, when you get into that chemical peel space, I highly encourage you to attend webinars like this, learn as much as you can about chemical peels and the ingredients that are being offered so that you really know what that product is doing in the skin. And then you get into your medical grade peels, your things like your what am I saying, TCAs. I don't do them personally in my practice. There are lots of companies that do offer the medical grade peels. I'm in California. There's plenty of things I can do within my scope of practice. So I just don't find that I draw a clientele that needs that level of depth of peels. It's just not my lane. It's not my niche. And I always like to remind estheticians, you're also having an experience here with your clients. So, this is what niching down and really becoming the expert in your area is really all about. So when you look at the hierarchy of treatments, every business should have something in this range, but it's really important to understand that you're progressing every time you get to another step. And what does that mean for the skin? All right. So skin first, always. If you've ever been to a Global Skin Solutions training class or Skin of Color certification class with Pamela Springer, you know that before we even get to chemical peels, which is on the third day of the course, Skin of Color certification course, we speak to barrier repair. And this is where we, certainly have a lot in common with the Hale Hush and a lot of businesses, because it's always about skin first. Always seek to repair the barrier function first, understand the skin structure. And this is really important. Again, studying and working with Pamela, we know that there are some unique things about skin of color based on ethnicity. I'm not going to give give it all away, but there are instances where the skin is a little thicker in terms of the texture. And from a skin structure perspective, a lot of skin of color will produce more collagen than other skin types and other people with other skin based on their histology and based on their ethnicity and so forth. There are additional layers in the epidermal layer. Skin of color may have anywhere from 7 to 10 layers of epidermal tissue versus other ethnicities that have fewer layers. So those products will penetrate differently depending on what your skin histology and physical skin structure looks like. Whenever someone asks me, oh, is there really such thing as skin of color? The immediate answer for me is yes, because there are physical characteristics that are different. It just is. It's not good or bad. It just is. And then you get into the skin function. And this is where Shauna and I, disagreed in that class, because the function of the skin is really what's going to tell me where I need to land in that hierarchy of treatment. And there are some skin types or skin conditions that are just, you can give them all the prep products and they just won't release that oil. It could be a deeper metabolic issue. You really have to kind of do the research, but skin function is very, very important. It's the whole reason that we prepare the skin prior to chemical peel treatment. And of course, that all includes a consistent skincare regimen. You have to ensure that that client is really committed to that, because you won't get a true correction if that client is not committed to the consistent skincare regimen that will allow their skin to function properly. Skin structure is something that we don't really control. We can maybe manage, but it is what it is. But the function is something that's certainly within that client's control, because, hey, they're with their skin 30 days out of the month. You might see them once a month. It really is in their hands. So why do we perform chemical peels? in a lot of cases, we want to stimulate a healing response. We understand that, for instance, massage, if we're not using any chemicals, so say we're massaging and we're doing effleurage type movements and so forth, and allowing the scrub to work, but we're also stimulating the skin. We're also providing more movement to the skin, to the muscles of the skin. We're moving the lymph through the skin. We're touching people on their face. We're not just applying product, okay? But depending on how firm your touch is, how light the touch is, will definitely play a part in how that product reacts with the, or how the skin reacts to a specific product and or specific ingredients. So at the very least, you want to stimulate a healing response. Most chemical peels will cause any certain level of, say, surface or deeper penetration. It just depends on what you're using to stimulate that healing response. You may also have a loss of elasticity with the skin. So that's one of the indicators of why you might perform a chemical peel to allow certain other products and ingredients to penetrate the skin and for the skin to accept it. So you want to remove that surface layer of keratinized cells and allow other active ingredients to penetrate better. Hyperpigmentation, of course, that's a big one. You always want to look at the reason for the hyperpigmentation. Is it something intrinsic? Is it melasma? Is it a condition? Or is it something extrinsic? And when you get into sun damage, that can be a little tricky. A sun is, of course, an extrinsic factor, but it's how the body's reacting. So it's truly intrinsic because, again, it's coming from within the body. It's the body's reaction to the sun. But something like, picking or acne scarring would truly be an extrinsic reason for hyperpigmentation. Hyperpigmentation is also a secondary condition to something that has that's creating it. So you don't always want to go for the hyperpigmentation first. You want to consider what has caused it in the first place. Of course, acne grade 1 and 2. I shared this with you, Shauna. I don't treat anything past 2. Enzymes. However, I do get to a point where there are some pockets and some areas that are just not coming to the surface, and we go where we need to go there from there, within reason. Of course, if they need to be referred out, they need to be referred out. And of course, what I'm passionate about will be those hormonal breakouts. And those I'm finding are being treated a lot differently than true acne. So we can get into that as well, but really understand why we might perform a chemical peel service. And ask yourself, does this really require a chemical peel service or not? And if it does, great. If it doesn't, then you know what to do. So how to prepare the skin. Skin preparation, when you get to chemical peels, may go just beyond the client using consistent home care and using enzymes to restore the barrier function. If you're stimulating healing response, there's not necessarily any prep required, okay? Again, you might stay in the hierarchy of using your manual exfoliants. You might get to maybe a very enzyme, whether it be a traditional powder enzyme or active enzymes. Enzymes with the AHAs, this is where you kind of have to really gauge it and see what that client really may need. And this is where you're going to pull out tools like your Lancer scale, your Fitzpatrick scale, and really understand what reaction the skin may have if you do move to the chemical peels, AHAs, BHAs, any chemical peel services. For the loss of elasticity, your goal is to build collagen. So you want to make sure the skin is in great condition. The acid mantle and the barrier is fully functional so that the skin is healthy enough to build the collagen it needs to fill in those fine lines and wrinkles. Okay. For hyperpigmentation, you always want to consider, again, the Fitzpatrick scale, the Lancer scale, any of those tools. And you need to understand so let's just go with the Fitzpatrick scale. It's basically a scale on how well the skin will tan or if it will burn. So if the skin is going to tan, you understand that there is melanocyte activity present. So you want to make sure that those melanocytes are not overexcited by the presence of what we call a controlled wound or a chemical peel. So you want to make sure you're using ingredients like your um, oh, I don't want to say, well, hydroquinone has been an ingredient, very controversial ingredient. I shy away from it. It's just not really, you have so many other options. You're looking at willow bark, you're looking at kojic acid. There's lots of other types of tyrosinase or melanin inhibitors on the market now. So look for those ingredients in your skincare products. Hydroquinone, again, it's not something that's really popular. Well, it's popular, but not for the right reasons, put it that way. So in very low percentages and for a very short period of time, reasonable and practical, but always checking with your manufacturer and get their philosophy on why they include it or not. And again, you have lots of other options for melanin inhibitors these days. So not necessarily a go-to anymore. Acne grade 1 and 2, you want to really stay in that barrier repair uh, protocol and or product mix, because this is where you're going to balance and control the oil production. So extractions with enzymes, you might use enzymes again with a blend of some sort, probably more of a BHA blend, because that's the BHAs control oil. Your salicylic acid controls oil, but always prep the client if you're going to progress them in that hierarchy of treatment. And of course, your hormonal breakouts, it's worth the conversation. Check in with those clients about their gut health. Check in with them to find out if they have needs, if they have. And these, again, we're not here to prescribe or diagnose. So let me be very, very clear. I don't believe in offering people supplements, but definitely encourage them to visit their doctors for blood work. Do they have any vitamin or mineral deficiencies? That's very, very common. And really focusing on their gut health to ensure that their skin is able to metabolize, because again, this hormonal breakouts due to menopause and even sometimes in the acne space definitely affects our ability. It's one of our channels of elimination. So gut health is really important to ensure that. But you want to prepare the client with not just, here's your product, come in for this treatment, but here's just some of the deeper questions that you can answer for them and to help them get on track. But you always want to address the skin function before moving to chemical peel treatments, whether that is, not necessarily no prep. Sometimes people come in, they desire a chemical peel, but they're not willing to make that commitment. So we're going to continue that healing response and that service and those products, because they're not really ready to make that commitment to get the results within, say, a quote unquote reasonable period of time. But they do need to make sure that they are getting some results. And so then they may come along and change their mind later. But for the most part, you want to make sure that you're maintaining a certain level of control in this process on behalf of your client, because they're going to come in asking for the world, and you're there to really, again, come with the facts and explain the process to them from your professional and knowledgeable perspective. So, aligned with that, we have certain expected outcomes. So, if I'm stimulating a healing response, I'm expecting increased product absorption. I'm expecting, again, if I'm massaging the skin, I'm not just applying the product, but I'm massaging the muscles. I'm moving the lymph through the face and maybe neck and shoulders if your facials include that. So, I definitely want to increase the product absorption. For the loss of elasticity, we're minimizing fine lines, wrinkles, and building collagen. For hyperpigmentation, looking for a more even skin tone. Will it be perfect for someone kind of predisposed to that? May not ever get to be perfect, but you can certainly minimize a lot of the discoloration, dark spots. And there might be times that you just need to kind of manage it and keep it at a certain level, really understanding what the source of that hyperpigmentation looks like. Acne grade 1 and 2. Your goal is to minimize those breakouts. It's not to say that client won't have any breakouts based on the acne they have, but 1 and 2 typically are manageable. When you get into 3 and 4, those are more chronic conditional type of acne. So again, refer those to their medical professionals so they understand how to balance and manage that. And then, of course, the hormonal breakouts, we're finding that it's more of a balance between the moisture or oil content and hydration. And we're finding that a lot of menopausal skin is depleted of oil, and people don't really realize it. They believe, well, I've always had an oily skin. Well, Not anymore, depending on your how your body's responding to all of these hormonal changes that we just have no control over. So again, I'm finding that people who tend to shy away from oils actually need the oils, and it's that balance of oil and hydration that gets the skin to function so much better. And then you can go in with a chemical peel to manage any residual issues, concerns that may come about. And it could still be dryness. It could be hyperpigmentation. It could be any number of conditions that exist, but you've got to get the skin, and this is the one thing we will always agree on, you've got to get the skin to get to a reasonable function before you move into chemical peels. So let's just talk a bit about ingredients. This is not brand specific, but in stimulating that healing response, you're going to start at the top of the hierarchy with your enzymes, potentially your blended enzymes, depending on how aggressive they may or may not be based on the alpha hydroxy or beta hydroxy content. And your fruit acids are a great place to start. As far as home care products, they can go into their hydrating serums. They can look at their vitamin C serums. I love vitamin C, and I really want to have a little side note here. There's certain vitamin C's that are water soluble that really kind of sit around the cell and support the cell and supports the overall skin function. But you also have lipid or fat soluble C's, and that's where it's at. I have found some amazing lipid soluble C's, and those are the ones that truly get the results in terms of more even skin tone, better antioxidant protection, because those lipids can actually penetrate the cell barrier. And that's where the true correction really happens. And you hear me say things like true correction. It is actually doing something in the skin to bring balance and homeostasis and better function. So I get excited about seeds, especially when I see that they have more of a kind of a thicker or maybe even a creamy consistency. And then I go straight to the ingredients to figure out if it's soluble or water soluble. So I get excited about seeds. Getting on to the loss of elasticity, glycolic acid is generally a go-to in my book for loss of elasticity. Smaller molecule, again, it's going to penetrate that epidermal layer a little bit deeper, causing a bit of an irritation, supporting and boosting collagen production. So this is where you get to your home care products like your retinols, your collagen moisturizers. But again, it depends on the skin. If I have a skin of color that produces more collagen than say the average skin, and that's kind of a very broad term, average skin, because everybody's skin is very different. You certainly want to make sure if that skin is already collagen rich, do I need to produce more collagen? Or that again, this is what is generally my go-to for a loss of elasticity. Glycolic acid is a great way to boost collagen production where it doesn't exist. Hyperpigmentation, my go-tos are generally lactic and mandelic acid in the chemical peel space. And I'm using things like kojic acid, maybe a niacinamide to and mulberry root and hydroquinone to again minimize that melanocyte activity if I should need to do a chemical peel and or to manage it long term, just manage the even skin tone long term. We get into the acne space. Salicylic has generally been a go-to, but again, it depends on the type of acne you're working with, and it's really for those really stubborn, harder uh, oil deposits that just won't come to the surface. We really have to kind of meet it where it is in the skin and allow it to dissolve and allow the body to kind of reabsorb those fats in those in that tissue and allow the body to metabolize in a different way. But a lot of it should come to the surface, some of it just won't. So we got to get down there and meet it where it is, break it up, and allow the body to adjust accordingly. And this is where you get into your salicylic acid washes. Glycerin is an amazing ingredient for acneic skin. It's not too heavy. It's just enough to really give that skin a more of that balance between oil and hydration. And any hydration the skin needs for acne, it needs hydration. It needs water content. And finally, for those hormonal breakouts or that menopause skin, definitely hang out with the enzymes, higher pH peels, lots of stimulation, massage, moving the lymph through the body. Because when our body releases all these hormones, it gets stuck. It's in our lymphatic system. And so unless we're moving it out, the indicator I always find with clients, of course, they're laying on the table, and you see those little pockets right here. right in here, little pocket, little pocket. And I know, oh, this is going to be a good candidate for lymphatic massage. So by all means, use your enzymes, your higher pH peels, ones that don't necessarily have to penetrate very deep. But again, you have to meet the skin where the issue or concern lies. So oil cleansing, I have found, has been an amazing game changer for some of my menopausal clients, as well as a lot of hydration. Sometimes with toners, I ask them to evaluate their toners. Do they have active ingredients or are they more astringent? If they're lighter ingredients, I love aloe-based toners. Something very lightweight. And I encourage them to put in a spray bottle and spray it as opposed to applying with cotton. The skin just drinks it up, and it gives a great result pretty quickly. Within by the time they come in for the next visit, they're noticing their hydration levels have increased and the oil cleansing is not stripping the skin of what it needs to function. And you can consider retinol for some of those clients because with metabolism slowing down, the skin just needs a little boost and a little support, and retinols will certainly help. I would say more moisturizers or creams and things like that so that it's not really shocking the skin or it's not irritating the skin, but just enough to get the skin to turn over and metabolize. So those other actives, the hydration and the oils and anything else you're using to treat the skin has a better chance of penetrating and being more active. So that concludes the technical portion. I hope you were able to get a few gems from that. We'll certainly get into the chat and get some Q&A going. I see some questions there, but just want to highlight the giveaway we have from Global Skin Solutions. And we have a pre-exfoliating kit and a post-exfoliating kit. And what makes our kits a little more unique is that, of course, the pre-exfoliating kit comes with our cell renewal cleanser and toner. And you also have the ultra lightening serum along with an SPF. And this ultra lightening serum is your tyrosinase or your melanin inhibitor. So before you get into the territory of doing alpha hydroxy or beta hydroxy peels, particularly for skin of color or skin that may have a melanocyte response. But sometimes you have maybe a fairer skin tone, but you might see the presence of molds or things like that. And that give you an indication that there is some melanocyte activity happening there. So be very cautious. And then the post exfoliating kit comes with your cleanser, the dry skin relief, which I love, love, love. I'm using this for my menopause skin and I love it. It's a vitamin E and squalene. It's very simple, but very effective in creating that balance and kind of sealing everything in. You also have the repair balm. So if there's any flaking or peeling, this is a very nice, rich emollient repair balm. And of course, you have your SPF here too. So these will come to the lucky winner who gets to spin the wheel and get these two products. And of course, there'll be some other products available from Hale and Hush. And finally, want to encourage you to register for the 3-day Skin of Color certification with Pamela Springer. She has a class coming up really quickly here on May 20th. So if you're interested in that Skin of Color certification course with Pamela, please, please, please check it out. I can put this in the chat at some point so you can go ahead and click the link and register for that. There is a 30% discount if you register by the 12th is this Sunday. So 30% discount if you register by Sunday and use the code Hale and Hush to get your 30% discount on the site. Irvine dates coming up May 20th, 21st, and 22nd, and they will be at Lightstem headquarters in Irvine, California. Boston, Massachusetts, specifically in Woburn. You have June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And that is going to be at the Anna Lotan Training Center there in Woburn, Massachusetts. And then you have Plano, Texas, and the Dallas area, September 15th, 16th, and 17th at Smooth Skin Supply with Stephanie Lanes. So by all means, go to Global Skin Solutions, globalskin-solutions.com to register for the course. And I'll get this link in the chat so that you can click it directly. And again, don't forget that 30% discount if you register by this Sunday, May 12th. And finally, you're more than welcome to keep in touch with me, social media at Angela Green Skincare or angelagreensskincare.com. Feel free to join my platform there. I do monthly newsletters on skincare tips for my clients, but we can all learn from that. And as Jonna mentioned, Skin Biz School at Skin Biz School or skinbizschool.com. You can join the community there. Home of the cost per service worksheet and some other amazing products and enhance your journey as a business owner. I am enrolling a small cohort of 5 for the Esthetician ID. That is a month-long live course. We meet up once a week, so would love to have some participants in that. But by all means, visit me there and feel free to ask any questions on either platform, and I'll respond. Thank you for the time, Shauna.
Oh, Angela, it's lovely. Did you guys take notes? I have 2 pages. Anybody else take notes? Let's go ahead and give away, what are we at the time? Oh yeah. There's some questions, Angela, but let's go ahead and give away some prizes if people got a scoop. Morgan, you got your little clicker up. Morgan's here, guys, with her clicker. You guys know. So go ahead. Do you want to give yours away first, Angela? What do you want to do? Yeah.
It's gonna cheer.
Okay. Angela's giving the pre bundle. That wheel.
Shelby Evans. Is she still in here?
Are you still here, girl?
I hope you're here.
Speak up. Are you here? Let me find you.
She said yes.
Shelby Evans. Okay. So Shelby. Sorry, I can't do 2 things at once. Can you please email education@haleandhush.com with your name, your prize, and your address, and I'll get it to Angela. Cool. Congratulations. Have fun. All right, Morgan, do you want to do one of ours? Should we do our refine polish?
Yes.
Okay, let's give it away. Let's do refine. It's our gentle exfoliant.
Cynthia Conger?
See if she's still here. Are you still in here?
Let's see.
She is. Cynthia, are you there?
Yeah, she's in here.
Is she? She's got to respond. Cynthia, please put in the chat if you're here.
Other Cynthia.
Is that the right one? There's like 3 Cynthias in here. Oh, she is not. She's changed her name is different. TAMRAZZADEH. Okay, same with you, Cynthia. Please email education and get your free refine. Should we go back to Angela's now? I want that. Can we just, we can't. Morgan and I have tried to cheat on these things, Angela, and funny, our name never comes up. Okay, how about the post kit for Angela?
Oh, she said which Cynthia, so I'm typing it in the chat.
Yeah, it's Conger. Cynthia Delgado's got it. I think her name is, oh, that's C, that's a T. No, Conger has not spoken up.
You want me to respin?
I don't know. Give her a second. Just, we'll come back.
Okay, let's do. Oh, there she said she's here. Perfect.
Okay. All right, now you can spin again. Spin for the post 2, the big kit, the second prize.
All right.
I love the spinner.
Tina Seeley.
She in here.
There she is.
Tina, congrats. Same, Tina, get a hold of me, education@haleandhush.com, and I'll send it over to Angela. If you guys hang tight, we'll give away 2 more prizes, but I really want to get to the questions because I think there are things I can't answer and I want Angela to answer for me. Is hydroquinone even worse for skin of color? Angela, you're muted.
Sorry. Yes. Hydroquinone, again, it's one of those controversial ingredients. It is known to be toxic at certain levels. So I think it's just more about how people are using the product. Again, I personally use the product, say no more than say 3 months, in very small doses or very small portion. Um, Sometimes it's good to spot treat with it. Sometimes it's good to use it all over, depending on, how widespread it is. It's an effective ingredient. However, I would not use it for a long period of time. And again, on top of all that, you do have the reputation of hydroquinone. And so, you don't want to erode any trust with your client by using, controversial ingredients when you have so many other ingredients that will provide a same or similar result, especially when those ingredients are more plant-based. Um, Kojic acid comes from the licorice root. You have things that really are, again, when things are plant-based, they're just more compatible with the skin and how it functions. So you do have lots of other options, and it's just one of those ingredients that I think will, it has a lane. I think at some point, at least with our knowledge and our access, it's just not necessarily a go-to.
No acid.
That's just
Okay.
my spin on it.
And on that note, do you believe it can cause cancer? I mean, that's
I wouldn't make that claim, and I wouldn't make that claim to a client. Um, Again, I'm not here to diagnose or prescribe. So my knowledge as an esthetician is that there are plenty of other ingredients that will give us the same or similar or even better result. So given the options I have, this is what I think is best. So hydroquinone would not be my first go-to. But again, I wouldn't kind of go down that road with a client because again, my scope of knowledge does not reach to that.
Yeah.
okay. And someone, Vera lives in South Florida. Do you think SPF 25 might be too low to protect our skin?
So this is a good point. I tend to use, I tend to recommend that to clients for home use. I tend to use a lighter SPF, and it also depends on the formulation. So for instance, I have an SPF 29 that's also made by Global. It comes in a spray, and it's a physical sun block. It has titanium dioxide, zinc oxide. It's not a chemical sunblock. So, formulation versus SPF number, because the SPF number simply corresponds to how often you should reapply if you are in direct sunlight. And those rules kind of shift and change based on what you're doing. So post chemical peel, I tend to use a lighter version or more of a physical sunblock. I don't want to put another chemical on top of a chemical peel. But for day-to-day use, a 25, and this is more, the one we have, the 25 is more of a moisturizer and SPF. So it has moisturizing properties to minimize transepidermal water loss and to address other skin concerns as we are trying to protect the barrier function in that instance. So it really depends on what you're doing. Again, summarize it, I would use more of a lightweight formulated SPF at the end of a chemical peel service and a heavier weight or more moisturizing one recommended for home care because I'm trying to get that client to use it daily to repair the barrier function.
Yeah, that's great. That's great information, Angela. And Caitlin wants to know if there are any specific resources that you have to recommend to learn more about menopausal skin.
Ooh, so I would say Dr. Mary Claire Haver, she's not a skincare expert, she is an MD, but her platform really covers the gamut of the metabolic processes that are happening in the body. And then you can take that knowledge and information and apply it to the skin. But I think as an industry, we're really starting to have those conversations. I'm definitely going to be tuning in for the Hale Hush webinar on this. This is where I think, again, the higher pH peels are going to come into effective. Yes, I'll type it into the chat here in just a second. So I think understanding menopause as a bodily function is really the most important thing. And then you can translate how that, just type it in the chat here.
And
There we go.
Keelan, I've just
So
been doing
that
it.
really translates how it's going to affect the skin. But understand that with any kind of metabolic, process, and that when I mean by metabolic, I mean things like, that you have certain systems within the body. You have the endocrine system, you have the nervous system, you have all these systems in the body, and all these systems are connected to organs in the body, and the skin is one of those organs. So you really got to get into it. It's
Yep.
not just a skin thing, it's a full body condition that significantly affects the skin. And not only is every woman is going to experience it differently.
Yes.
Some may have hot flashes, some may not. Some may have night sweats, some may not. It just really depends on that person. So you really have to get into the study of it. But Dr. Mary Claire Haver, her platform is what introduced me to the whole issue of, yes, the pause life. Thank you for posting that in the
Mhm.
chat. She's an amazing resource, not just from a skin perspective. I have seen some great things also come from Bion. Um, they're another skincare brand, I believe based out of Canada, and their team has a very thorough understanding of menopause skin. And I know they've had some webinars fairly recently. So Bion Skincare, and they have I think they have 3 brands under their umbrella. If you go to Bion Skincare, Bion, they're a great
Yeah.
resource for menopause skin, and their team does a great job of really breaking it down for the esthetician.
Yep, I agree with that. And another question, Angela, you ready? What do you suggest if a client is allergic to sunscreen products? I have a client that starts to itch with all sunscreen products.
Wow, allergic to sunscreen products.
Leslie, I feel she's probably, has she tried chemical and physical? This is a
I'd
big
be curious.
conversation.
I've seen allergies more to chemical sunscreen products like the avobenzones and
Yes.
those kind of ingredients than I've seen to the physical that
Same.
contain titanium oxide, zinc oxide. But if they've tried both and they're allergic,
Mhm.
I would be very curious as to what else this person's allergic to.
Same.
Yeah, that would be my first thought. Well, what allergies do you have? Because it may or may not be the specific ingredients that make it an SPF. It may be something that's like a carrier or some sort of preservative, or it may be that person is just sensitized
Yep.
to most things. And I've actually had a couple of clients. I've just been really open in my space here since November, but still have done a lot of product education and knowledge. And I had a client, and she knew it going in, but her skin can't tolerate anything. And I mean nothing. I've tried the most gentle of products with her, and she said, "No, Angela." And she'll test it. We'll try things, but we have a great relationship. But she
Mhm.
just can't tolerate anything.
Right. Oh, Leslie said Tylenol. She must be allergic to Tylenol, Leslie. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Yeah. And then from there it goes stay out of the sun and wear lots of clothing. I mean, it's just that's where it is at. Yes, she said she's allergic to Tylenol. That's crazy too. Yeah, she's got a lot of probably nice internal things going on that makes her sensitive or sensitized to all these things. Yeah, for sure.
And I want to say really quickly, I'm finding, and I don't know if this is a result of the pandemic and our immune systems and our immune responses, but I'm finding that clients their skin is really sensitive because their immune systems have been compromised.
Yes.
Isolation, it's changed so suddenly. So people have allergies now that they didn't have before. There's a lot going on, and it's showing up in the skin.
See, Angela, you and I agree on most things. Last question. Is it better to just use moisturizer with SPF or use moisturizer and SPF separately? How often do you reapply? I live in San Diego.
I like for products to do a specific thing. I like moisturizer and I like SPF. I prefer them separate. And I consistently have to coach my clients on this SPF because it's both. And so you need this much. Don't overuse it. So no, I prefer things to do what they say they're going to do. And I want my moisturizer to moisturize. I want my SPF to be an SPF. And not say that SPF can't moisturize, but SPF really is more about retaining whatever is underneath it. So you're in San Diego. I'm in Southern California. I'm close to the beach as well, kind of in the coastal area. So no, I would just say, again, if people are in direct sunlight, they should be reapplying every 30 minutes or so, because get SPF 25 or an SPF 50 roughly every hour or so. But if you are in direct sunlight day to day, one application in the morning should be enough. And then if you're out in the sun riding around, then, you might want to, in your, drop top or something, you might want to reapply. But I don't think you necessarily need to reapply if you're kind of in a normal day-to-day indoor, outdoor type of flow.
Yeah, agreed. Marianne made a comment that she's hearing there's a lot of autoimmune diseases happening from COVID. Yes. And yes, that's why it affects the skin. So we are a little bit over because we've enjoyed our chat with Angela. So let's give away our 2 other prizes, and we've got to get moving on the road. Some people have clients today, right? Okay, Morgan, you're up, girl. Let's give away an incredible enzyme, my favorite enzyme. Let's do it.
Oh, our very own Victoria wig.
No, she can't win.
I don't even know why I put her in there. Sorry, Victoria. Sorry, Victoria.
Get out of here, Victoria.
Kenyari Guy. Let's see. Are you still
Yeah.
in here? I don't see him in here on my attendee list.
Oh, I think she's gone.
Okay. Go again.
Redo.
Let's go.
Okay.
I still think it's so funny you can hear it spinning.
I love it.
Marianne Pepper.
Marianne. Hey, Marianne, email me with your address and I'll get that to you. All right, let's give away my favorite girl here, Bedazzle. Who wants some Bedazzle Revitalize?
Laura McKenzie. Are you still in here?
Is she in here? Uh-oh. I don't see her.
Me either. Wow.
Okay.
We could do the giveaways earlier before people head out
Do
on
it
us.
early, Morgan. We've learned our lesson here.
Yeah. Please be in here. Lorena Goodwin? Yep, Goodrich. Yep, she's in here. Lorena.
Hey, Lorena, email me, please, and I'll get that sent from the office. Are you in here? Yep. Yay. Okay, Angela, we so greatly thank you. I think sharing your knowledge, your expertise. I love to hear it. I took notes. I'm sure everyone else has. You guys, you guys will get the link and within 24 hours of this. If you missed part of it, also in about a week, it will be put up on YouTube. So you can also re-listen to all of Angela's advice and go through her notes one more time and all her slides. But Angela, thank you so much, my friend. Mwah. I owe you for it. It's wonderful.
Thank you for having me. We'll see you soon.
Hey, you guys, thank you. You guys have a great week. Once again, go sign up for all of our free webinars. Some of them are almost maxed out, so please get on it immediately. And we'll get you all signed up and ready. We'll see you guys soon at different events. We're going to Orlando. We're going to Vegas. I finally get to squeeze Richard when I go to Orlando. So, okay, everyone, thank you. Morgan, thank you for helping us. Angela, wish I could hug you.
You hugs, hugs.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Have a great afternoon.
Take care.